goes a little something like this.
Throw your motherfucking hands in the air. It's gone to all the motherfucking house. Throw your hands in the air. It's Rivendell in the house. Where the Shire at? Yo, Tree-Man, my brother, are you in the house? Where the Elf Girls at? Yeah, it's on. That's right. Throw your hands in the air. It's on. It's on. I'm Quickbeam with the master plan, and I'm Baba Jill with the mic in my hand, and we're lords of the rhymes from a far-off land, and we'll rock this joint with a hobbit band. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the greatest hobbit of them all? Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins is only 3 feet tall. Well, my name is Gimli, I'm a fucking dwarf. I've been slaying motherfuckers from the south to the north. That ain't Mirkwood, I'm chopping with my battle axe. I'm on an orc stampede like Shadowfax. Now all you boffins and bulges raise girdles and proud feet. I'm the skinny hobbit with all the fat beats. My name is Mary and I'm 5 feet tall. I used to fuck shit up at Brandybuck Hall. My man Bilbo's older than Geronts just took. Yeah, you can read about it in a big red book. Quick beam on the scene, all the elf girls scream. Like a tree, that's me, I like to keep it green. It's the chronic pipe weed that I'm smoking, and when I get high, I spin tails like Tolkien. Well, I'm a hobbit warrior, short and stout. I got the fucking beats that'll turn you out. I'll light you up like long bottom leaf, cause the orcs smoke the swag, but we got the keef. We got the keef, we got the keef, we got the keef.
There's a chance that the song that was just playing might be familiar to some of my listeners. That is The Lord of the Rhymes. The video has over 74,000 views, and their website has had over 5 million downloads for the song. One half of the Lords is in the studio right now, and that's Quickbeam for Skyping with the Stars. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
How do you feel about the popularity of the video?
Great. I'm glad people enjoy it. You know, when we first made that video, it was before YouTube was in existence. So, you know, it's nice that, you know, we put that up, I think, only a few years ago, so to get 70,000 hits is pretty good. I think if YouTube existed at the time we made the video, it might have done even better. But we originally distributed it just through QuickTime movies that you could download from our website. And it's funny enough, at the time, we wished there was something like that, like YouTube, to do video distribution, but there just wasn't anything.
Now, yeah, I know I saw the video before I even saw Fellowship of the Rings or any of the movies, so obviously you guys were big fans of the books, and I'm assuming probably fans of the original cartoon as well. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. We both, Bombadil and I both grew up reading Tolkien, you know, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, and some of the other Lost Tales, and it had a huge influence on us. And then the Ralph Bakshi films were just absolute genius. I'm a big fan in general of early animation, and he used this technique called rotoscoping for the Black Riders that just sort of blew my mind. I also really like stop-motion animation, like the Ray Harryhausen stuff, Clash of the Titans and Sinbad, and all those old techniques. And I feel like the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings cartoon or animation is really kind of in that spirit.
Yeah.
So that was a big influence as well.
Yeah, those old claymation movies are so just there's something about them where like the current CGI stuff just doesn't hold my attention. Nothing holds my attention more than, say, Jason the Argonauts fighting a bunch of claymation skeletons. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
and I don't know if that is something about just the time when I grew up, and if young kids these days still would enjoy it as much as I did, but that's actually something we want to do for a future video, is do the entire thing in stop motion, using like sculptures of ourselves and kind of make miniature puppets and dioramas and do a full stop motion video. So people can look out for that. We'll probably try and release that around the time that the Hobbit movies come out.
Hold on 1 second. I'm doing an interview. I'm sorry.
You go out next time. I want you to drop some sound.
All right, I'll grab it in a second.
Yeah, no.
Sorry about that. You should check out. There's a really good documentary. I believe it's on Netflix called The Sci-Fi Boys. If you haven't seen it yet, and that's all about Ray Harryhausen and famous movies, Movie Monsters magazine and stuff like that. It's very interesting. documentary.
Oh wow, I'd love to check that out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right in my wheelhouse. That stuff.
Now, the website itself has been pretty inactive. I think it was last updated maybe a year or two ago. Are the Lords done, or are you guys still touring and playing?
We're on hiatus, I would say. We were pretty active for a long time, but certainly people's interest in what we're doing kind of rode the tide of the Peter Jackson films, and I think it's going to ramp up again soon when the Hobbit movies come out. They're making 2 films of that story, and then another part of that's going to be a bridge between where the Hobbit leaves off and the Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings tale begins. So we expect to be busy again, but certainly it's been tough on a Hobbit in the Ween years between those films and the start of the next ones.
You guys get compared a lot to the Beastie Boys on the different YouTube comments, which I'm sure as a hip-hop fan is one of the ultimate compliments. Do you guys get to listen to a lot of current music out in the Shire?
We do. We both grew up listening to hip-hop, and any of those kind of comparisons are certainly an honor for us. We don't, just to be put in the same sentence is great. But, for us, one of the reasons we started doing this was we noticed that kids, we both come from Brooklynshire, and we knew that kids around here weren't as familiar with the Lord of the Rings story, but they love hip-hop, so we thought it was a great way to spread knowledge of ring lore through music, and since hip-hop was what we were really listening to a lot, we developed this formula of setting Tolkien to beats.
And there's been a couple musical movements based on literature. I know probably the most popular is the Wizard Rock movement, but as far as I can remember, you were the first people writing about fantasy literature. I'm sure that there's others. I mean, you sampled Leonard Nimoy's song about Bilbo Baggins in the one song, but I really think as far as currently, you're one of the big forerunners on writing just honest music about literature.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't know. I hadn't heard of much before us, although we didn't really think of ourselves as creating a genre so much as we just wanted to write songs about stuff that we really loved. And like I said, we wanted to spread knowledge of ring lore as wide as possible in our own community. But, since I've started doing this project, I've been made aware of, Wizard Rock and then this subgenre of hip-hop called nerdcore, and it's allowed me to trace back the roots of science fiction fantasy songwriting. And there's actually a movement in the 70s called filk, where singer-songwriters sort of in the Cat Stevens, James Taylor type vein were writing folk songs about Star Trek. And as far as I can tell, that's one of the first kind of categories of music to just make that bridge between popular songwriting and fantasy or science fiction. And but I wasn't aware of that when we started doing this. So it's great to see more groups out there now kind of making songs about what they really love, which is, some of this literature and some of these topics which were previously considered to be sort of too nerdy to want to, admit that you're into, let alone write material about. But I think because of the internet, it's allowed people to come together and share their common interests and create some really amazing music.
Now, do you guys plan, I guess with the new Hobbit movies coming out, do you guys plan on recording any new songs? Because I know on the website there's a few free songs for download and there's a DVD, but that's about it. Is there more material that's out there?
Yeah, we recorded a lot more material than we've ever released. It really comes down to laziness. We have enough for an album, and we never actually put it together. I think we got so busy making videos, and then we made a documentary. It's about 50 minutes long, so it's like a short-form documentary about our band and about Hobbit rap, which, as you referenced, we sell DVDs of that from our website, lordsoftherimes.com. But that entire documentary is available for free on YouTube as well. It's divided into 4 or 5 parts, so if people are wanting to check it out and don't want to pay $10, you can check it out on YouTube. And so we got so caught up in doing that stuff that we never actually put the album out. But if you've seen us live, you'll know that we have like a hour-long set that's very theatrical, and we do about 10 or 12 different songs. We just never actually released them. So maybe that's something that we'll do when the Hobbit movies come out, is make a new track to memorialize the Hobbit, and then release a lot of the material that is just sitting in the archives.
The long-awaited debut album by the Lord of the Rhymes.
Yeah, exactly, 12 years later.
I love the music video, specifically the guerrilla filmmaking of the Lord of the Rhymes video, which is literally just you guys wandering around the Shire. What was the filming process like for that video?
Well, we were able to rope our friend Currifin the Crafty into it. He had made some music videos before, and had made a really killer documentary about crop circles that got a feature. It was a feature film that actually got a theatrical release. I can't remember the name of it at the time, but it's this. He was the editor on the project, and he worked with the director who also made a documentary about the Waco disaster called Rules of Engagement, which is also a pretty interesting doc. But anyway, this friend of ours, he was like the only guy we knew that had a camera, so we convinced him to come out on the coldest day of the year out to Prospect Park in Brooklyn Shire, and we just wandered around the forest, shooting scenarios, and got a bunch of friends to help out, and then shot a bunch of stuff in Times Square. It's definitely interesting to see people's reactions as we were going around doing this, shooting with our furry feet and wearing short pants and floral patterned vests in the middle of winter. But it was a lot of fun.
Now, where can my listeners find out more about you guys and future shows and stuff like that?
Well, everything will be posted on our website, lordsoftherimes.com. And as you mentioned, it hasn't been updated in quite a while, but as soon as we have some new material or announcement of tour dates, we'll put them up there. Toward the latter part of our touring, we were mostly doing private events, like a bunch of sort of video game and comic conventions, and we also were lucky enough to perform at the after party for Return of the King in Hollywood, at a party organized by a fan website called theonering.net. They threw the official after party for New Line Cinema, so all the cast and crew was at the party after winning 11 Oscars, and there's about 1,000 fans there that had bought tickets in advance. So we've been lucky enough to do some events like that, and some of those we haven't posted on the website just because they weren't open to the public.
All right, well thank you for coming by, Quick. It's a pleasure to have you. Hopefully, we can have you on sometime later. Maybe we'll bump in at a convention or something and have a sit down and see how the Lords are doing.
That'd be great. I'd love it.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, yeah, keep it green.